could do it for me, is invite people to move up and fill these chairs in here.
All right. So I invite you to follow my example here and put our phones on silence or put them on stun. Yes. I don't know if it's for 5 minutes or 3 hours, but we'll see. So I invite you to fill in down here in the seats in front, if you like. I know that Dave likes to keep things nice and intimate. I'm Rabbi Dan Aronson. I'm the rabbi here at CAA, and I want to welcome everyone here. I think I've already invited you. If there's no one here who's been invited, then okay, you can stay. You can stay. So a couple points of business. First, exits. There's the door that you came in through. There's also an exit to the left if you go back out the sanctuary and turn left. And there are exits through the doors on either side of our stage area behind me. And there's a restroom up here off the foyer. There's a restroom downstairs at the bottom of the stairs off the foyer. And if you go down the hallway downstairs, kind of under where we are, there's a men's room and there is a women's room. I want to thank a number of people for their work on tonight's concert. A number of folks stepped up to sponsor the concert so that Dave can earn a living and we can donate 100% of our proceeds at the door to the community kitchen. I want to thank our sponsors, Len Fleischer, Dan and Beth Aronson, David and Sandy Kochman, Tom Julius and Barbara Bryce, Randall Carmel, Selena and Malcolm Katz, the Laura Broad Memorial Arts and Culture Fund, Pam Parrish, and Becky Poor. So thank you to all of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to thank Eric Cohn, who is our custodian, who's outside directing traffic. I want to thank our crack tech crew, Craig Silvern and Jan Carlson, a little help from our friend Ben Hayes. Our transportation crew, Ann and Jan Carlson. Dave Kochman, who's our finance guy, taking care of money at the door. Of course, also my partners in putting this together, Tom Julius, what is your chair of the guiding council of the Monadnock Interfaith Project, and Barbara Weissman, the executive director of the Community Kitchen. So the person that I want to thank the most, actually, before I do the thanking the most, I just wanted to invite you back on Sunday, December 7th. We're having a program with Paul Vincent and Professor Rodney O'Brien called Holocaust History and Contemporary Challenges. It's the background to the creation of the Cohen Center at Keene State College. And then on Central Square on December 17th for, I believe it's the fourth night of Hanukkah, we'll be back out on Central Square lighting our Chanukiah, our menorah for Hanukkah. So I invite you all to join us for that. Even you, Dave, if you'd like to come back and experience some real cold. Yes. So a few weeks ago, I received an email from Dave Nachmanoff, who was here in July. I had never met him before. I don't think a lot of us met him, but I think Ann and Jan Carlson had met him. And he gave a benefit concert for MIP. And ever since, he's been at the top of my Spotify playlist. I'm just so inspired by Dave's music and his expertise, his musicality with the guitar, and as we'll hear tonight, the piano as well. He said, I'm going to be in town. He's actually, last night, he gave a concert in my hometown of Portland, Maine, or kind of near there. And he said, yeah, I'd love to come and do a house concert at Keene. And I said, well, you could do it at my house. We could fit 8 people. Or we could do it at a bigger house that I happen to live in. And so here we are. You are in for a fantastic treat. Let's give it up for Dave Nachmanoff.
Oh, thank you. He stands over 6'3", and that's in his stocking feet. And women turn to stare when he's just walking down the street. A modern day Adonis in a business suit and tie. Oh, if that's who you are looking for, I'm just not that guy. From the boardroom to the bedroom, he's the master of the deal. With eyes as cool as ice and nerves of tempered steel. He's got a taste for subterfuge. He'd make the perfect spy. But if that's who you are looking for, come on now, I'm just not that guy. If you need 2 good strong hands to rub your shoulders, or bring a glass of wine when you've had a long hard day, someone to laugh with as you're growing older. Take a look at me, if only you can tear yourself away from him. Oh. Oh, he's a lover and a sportsman. He doesn't mind a barroom brawl. And his girlfriends are like trophies he has hanging on the wall. And if you get involved with him, he'll only make you cry. But if that's who you are looking for, I'm just not that guy. Sometimes I wish I were that guy, but I'm just not that guy. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. It's wonderful to be here. This is a beautiful space, and it's really strange, but one of my very good friends in California is actually the grandson of one of the original rabbis of this congregation before there ever was this building or anything. So that feels very strange and kind of full circle to be here. I texted him the other day to just tell him I was going to be here. So how many of you were here in the summer when I was doing the thing? Yeah, and you came back anyway. Thank you. Woo! All right. Well, to the rest of you who are going, who is this guy? I'm not that guy in the last song, but I will give you a song that gives a little bit of my history. Jan, if you can get me a little more guitar for this next song, and watch out on the mic. I think getting a little bit of noise there. Yeah? Okay. We'll carry on. So this song, even though it does give you a little bit of my history, is not really a song about me. That wouldn't be too exciting. But it's about a woman who's very interesting. Her name was Libba Cotton, or Elizabeth Cotton. Anybody ever heard of Libba Cotton? No? Okay. It's not surprising. Usually there's maybe 1 or 2 hands go up if I ask. Anybody ever heard the song Freight Train? Okay, good. Few quiet mumbles. Yep. She's the one who wrote Freight Train. And she wrote it when she was about 12 years old. A lot of people don't know that. She started a professional career in her mid-60s which I find inspiring as I start to edge towards my mid-60s. But I was in the summer between 4th and 5th grade when this story takes place. And she was 82 and still going strong. So this is a true story. It's called Kindred Spirits. I couldn't have been much more than 10 when I met her through a friend. Her skin was dark and wrinkled. Her eyes were bright and kind. She played some of her songs for me, like Freight Train and Shake Sugaree. She asked if I would play some of mine. I hadn't played for very long. In fact, I'd written just one song. So I played that song I'd written and some others that I knew. She was gonna do a show in a couple weeks or so. She asked if I would like to play there too. And we sang Freight Train on the monument lawn, with a statue of Abe looking over us. Over 70 years apart, we were singing from the heart, like two kindred spirits in the night. We were two kindred spirits in the night. And when I got up on that stage, I forgot about my age. The fireflies were blinking. It was a hot and humid night. I somehow knew right there and then I couldn't let that feeling in. Like Libba, I'd play music all my life. And we sang Freight Train on the monument lawn, with a statue of Abe looking over us. Over 70 years apart, we were singing from the heart, like two kindred spirits in the night. We were two kindred spirits in the night. I heard some of you quietly saying you did know the song Freight Train, but I know there's some people who have never heard it. So those of you that know it, let's sing it one time for them so they get to hear how it goes. All right? Help me out. Here we go. Freight train, going so fast. That's it. Freight train, going so fast. Please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know where I've gone. After we sang. 50 years have come and gone. Libba Cotton has moved on. That better home, they tell us, is waiting in the sky. But she rode Freight Train as a child, and sometimes now it makes me smile when I think how music doesn't die. We sang Freight Train. We sang Freight Train on the monument lawn, with a statue of Abe looking over us. Over 70 years apart, we were singing from the heart, like two kindred spirits in the night. We were two kindred spirits in the night. Thank you. Nice job. I could hear a lot of you saying. I know we got some great singers here because the pop-up choir came early and some of them sounded fantastic. So, you know, you'll hear them later. But in the meantime, you can all be the pop-up choir. Now this song is maybe less of a sing-along than a clap-along. But you can help. I couldn't bring the drummer on this particular tour, so you guys get to be the rhythm section. It's got kind of a Bo Diddley thing going on. So if you can think of that beat, that kind of. And there's a lot of space in this song. So when I'm singing, you don't have to clap. But when I'm not singing, jump in and do those hand claps, and it'll work really well. I sort of think of this one as a tribute to my parents. I lost both of them within the last 6-7 years, and they were both extraordinary people. So I like to think of this as kind of a tribute to them. It's called Accident of Birth. It goes like this. Let's get singing. Where's those hand claps? That's it. You got it. Okay. I won the parent lottery. My parents were so good to me. In a safe and prosperous place, I grew up in a time of peace. Like every child, I had my fears, but they stood by me through the years. And in time I came to realize not everybody lives a life of ease. It was an accident of birth. How much a life is worth in a particular time and place. Well, there was nothing that I deserved, but it's really such a mystery where we land in human history. It's only just an accident of birth. If I'd been born some years before, I might have been sent off to war. In a different time or place, I could have been a peasant or a slave. But I never had to do without or suffer famine's angry drought. If you go back far enough, I could have grown up living in a cave. Oh, it was an accident of birth. How much a life is worth in a particular time and place. Well, there was nothing that I deserved. It's really such a mystery where we land in human history. It's only just an accident of birth. Keep those hand claps going. Oh, she grew up 15 miles away. Our stories are like night and day. The daughter of an addict, on the streets abandoned and abused. And though she's learned to rise above a life so hard with little love, if she had another chance, you know this wouldn't be the life she'd choose. It was an accident of birth. How much a life is worth in a particular time and place. Well, there was nothing that she deserved, but it's really such a mystery where we land in human history. It's only just an accident of birth. Oh, it's only just an accident of birth. Woo! Thank you. All right, and I don't know for sure if the stream is working, but if it is, hello to all the people that are watching around the world, wherever you are watching the stream. I have a friend who lives in South Africa who said she was going to get up to watch. It's like 2:30 in the morning there, so particular shout out to Patricia if she's on there. Not watching the chat this time, guys. Just it's all I can do to be in the room. But you guys hearing everything okay? Okay, good. Nice work. Jan, if I could get just a little more guitar on this next one, just give the guitar a little boost. That'd be great. Thanks. And just, here we go. All right. So this is a song from the last album I did was called Cerulean Sky. It came out in 2019. And I'm hoping to record a new album next year. So I'm working hard trying to get the songs together for that. But this was a song that was actually not written for the album. It was written for my wife, Jen, who had a significant birthday at the time. And luckily she liked it. I was very relieved. Her birthday is November 25th, so it's a good time of year to be doing this song. And after I sang it to her, I said, is it okay if I play for other people? And I was, happy to say she said yes, and she didn't care. So I started playing it at my gigs, and everywhere I went, people kept asking if it was going to be on the new album, which it was never intended for. So I sent it to my producer, and I said, well, what do you think? Should we put this on there? And he said, yeah. So I'm glad that he did, because it's probably my favorite song on there now. It's called Autumn. The leaves are turning from green to brown. When the wind picks up, they'll come tumbling down. Put the quilts upon the bed as the winter is drawing near, and we turn into the autumn of the year. The kids are growing, and it won't be too long as the birds will leave the nest. They may soon be gone, but I'll put my arms around you, and you know you needn't fear as we turn into the autumn of our years. When we met, you were apple-cheeked, and I was oh so green. Now we've shared half a lifetime, good times, Emmeline. Like a fruit that's gently ripened, you're the one I hold so dear as we turn into the autumn of our years. As we turn into the autumn of our years. Time's traces on your face, now my beard is gone to gray. Memories together, no one can take away. Like the young girl that I married, your eyes still shine so clear as we turn into the autumn of our years. When we met, you were apple-cheeked, and I was oh so green. Now we shared half a lifetime, good times, Emmeline. Like a fruit that's gently ripened, you're the one I hold so dear as we turn into the autumn of our years. Not the winter, just the autumn of our years. As we turn into the autumn of our years. Thanks so much. All right. Well, let's see. Here's one I haven't done in a little while. So I like to challenge myself and test to see if I still remember my own songs. So this goes back to an album from 2006, I think, called Time Before the Fall. It's the one with the controversial nude album cover. It's got Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden painted by Titian. So very, risque. But and it has sort of autumn leaves in the back. So it's a good segue from the last song, actually. Anyway, the funny thing about this song is the first time I ever played it was in a slightly unusual venue. The first place I ever saw Al Stewart play was the Royal Albert Hall. And I was a fan from when I was a teenager. In fact, I used to have very vivid daydreams about playing guitar for Al Stewart someday. And it was really strange because eventually that's what I wound up doing. For 17 years, I toured with Al Stewart. And in that time, I actually played the Royal Albert Hall 4 times with him. But I think this might have been the first time we were there together. And I was hoping maybe he'd let me do a song. Because generally when I toured with him, I opened the shows and I got to do at least a little set of my own stuff. He said, Dave, it's the Royal Albert Hall. I don't think you're going to get to open. No. And I said, one song? Just one song? I don't think so. So I kind of gave up on that idea. But I'd put this record together just specifically for this British tour. Just before that, I called it Time for the Fall because it was recorded in August. So it was just before the fall. Tour was in October, I think. And it had this cover with Adam and Eve on it. Very, kind of cool cover. And so I had a friend in England blow up these giant posters to promote it. And the Royal Albert Hall let me put them up in the lobby to sell my merch. So I had these 2 giant posters that said Time Before the Fall. And, I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to get to do a song. So I kind of put it out of my mind. First set came, no song. Second set, intermission, right? Second set starts. And about 4 songs in, he goes, "Oh, my guitar player, he's quite a good songwriter. Do you want to hear one of his songs?" And he sends the band off stage, leaving me, alone at the Royal Albert Hall in front of 4,000 people, with no idea what I'm going to play, because I hadn't really thought I was going to get to do it. But I thought, I'm not a marketing genius by any means, but I thought, I've got these 2 giant posters for my new album that says "Time Before the Fall" out in the lobby. Maybe I should play the title track of the new album, right? So I launch into it, and luckily I wasn't messing it up too much or anything. But about halfway through, I suddenly realized I'd never played the song live in front of an audience, because I'd recorded it pretty quickly in August, getting ready for the tour, and I just never bothered to play it live. So that was the first time I ever played it. I can pretty well guarantee you I'll play it better tonight than I did at the Royal Albert Hall. Had a few times to practice it since then. I'll probably still screw it up, but not as much. Anyway, this is a nice one for the synagogue. It's got a little bit of a biblical theme to it. It's called "Time Before the Fall." Dreams of glory in his mind, and now he's made that long, hard climb. It took so long just to reach this day. Now he must travel far away, just like Adam and Eve in the time before the fall. Babes in the woods thinking they could have it all, but you just can't have it all. No, you just can't have it all. Back at Harvard, she excelled in everything she does so well. Perfect woman, perfect mom. But now she wonders where all her joy is gone. Just like Adam and Eve in the time before the fall. Babes in the woods thinking they could have it all, but you just can't have it all. No, you just can't have it all. Well, it's a Faustian bargain, some kind of devil's deal, trading time and love for money, losing touch with what is real. Beneath a fig tree, beneath a vine, a few possessions, but feeling fine. As love's remembered, pressures lift, they succumb to nature's gift. And just like Adam and Eve in the time before the fall, babes in the woods thinking they could have it all, but you just can't have it all. No, you just can't have it all. Time Before the Fall. Thanks. Woo. They've got a Steinway here. It's a really nice piano. So I'm not a fantastic pianist, but I can't resist. I got to go play that thing. So. All right. That works. Good. Check. Okay. So this is kind of a Freudian blues. I was in the mood to write a blues song, but the problem is, if you're going to write a blues, you got to be blue about something. And the dog hadn't died. Jen hadn't left me. The house was still standing. I had no material. But I realized that, if you dig deep enough, and I think some of us in the Jewish world know this better than anybody, there's always something to complain about, right? There's always something. So I just thought I just got to dig deeper. So I thought, I'll go Freudian on this and dig deep. So I named it after one of his books. It's called Civilization and Its Discontents. I step forwards, I step back, but it's still hanging over my head. That little cloud of sadness seems to follow me everywhere. I tell myself I'm I'm such a lucky fella. I try to hide under my umbrella, but like a stray that won't go away, I find it's waiting there. I'm not 16 anymore, not quite. All that existential angst, I've been through it all before. I've got a lovely house and a wonderful wife. As Jimmy Stewart said, it's a wonderful life. I think of all the nice things that people have said, but there's still that little ball of nameless dread, like an emotional piece of gum that keeps on sticking to the bottom of my shoe. We've all got one. Now, if it's true all men are mortal, and it's true that I'm a man, then with syllogistic reasoning, it's true that we can deduce that sometime in the future I no longer will exist. So maybe I'm just worried that I really won't be missed. Wake up in the morning, it's a beautiful day, but can I go outside and just play? No, I've got those civilization and its little discontent blues. How about you? I've got those civilization and its little discontent blues. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, it's fun. Well, let's see. This next one was inspired by a woman that I saw in Davis, California, where I live, and I'm doing a show in January, which is going to be a fundraiser for our local Meals on Wheels. Really excited about that, and the sponsors have asked me to do a lot of my songs that have a local angle. So I've been trying to find some of my songs that have to do with Davis or Sacramento or the region. This one's a little bit of a stretch, but it was inspired by a woman that I saw in Davis, and didn't actually know her personally, but I kind of knew who she was. It's called Doing the Best We Can. Standing at the curbside, she's swaying as she's praying. I saw her there last Tuesday, tears were streaming down her face. Bags around her feet, her hands nervously ringing. I could hear her softly singing, sounded like Amazing Grace. She's doing the best she can, taking what she's been given, living the only life she's got. So I try to understand, she's doing the best she can. Maybe she'll be forgiven, just like you and me. She's doing the best she can. In the red Toyota truck, it's rolling down the window. He lets loose a string of curses that could make a sailor blush. Leaning on the horn at the line of cars before him. Now the traffic inches forward, and I've lost him in the crush. He's doing the best he can, taking what he's been given, living the only life he's got. So I try to understand, he's doing the best he can. Maybe he'll be forgiven, just like you and me. He's doing the best he can. When the factory closed and the kids had grown, so different from the days when they first married. He pulls up to the curbside. She climbs right up beside him. He tells her of another job that somehow got away. Dries her eyes, she hugs him, and they head for their apartment. He promises her somehow everything will be okay. They're doing the best they can, taking what they've been given, living the only life they've got. So try to understand, we're all doing the best we can. Maybe we'll be forgiven, taking it one day at a time. We're all just doing the best we can. Yeah, taking it one day at a time. We're all just doing the best we can. Thanks so much. Well, I'm going to try this next one, which has actually never been recorded, and thinking about doing on the next album, but I'm not sure. I think I might have played it this summer, but I can't remember, and it's probably changed since. In fact, I know it's changed since then. I believe if I played it this summer, I played it really fast, almost bluegrassy. And that was like wildly wrong for the song. And so I've retooled it now. And I've almost never played it on piano, but I'm going to give it a try because I just think I want to hear what it sounds like with piano. This was actually inspired by our rabbi in Davis, Greg Wolf, who's a friend of mine and is now emeritus. Wonderful, wonderful guy. And my daughter, Sophia, was in confirmation class. And so my wife and I went in, they invited all the parents in, and the rabbi said that we were all supposed to write an ethical will for our children. And most of us in the room looked at each other and said, "Oh, what?" Right? How many of you have heard of an ethical will? Okay, yeah, that's cheating. Of course you have. But most of us don't know what that is. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's actually a very ancient Jewish tradition. It's kind of making a bit of a comeback, and you don't have to be Jewish to write one either. Anybody can do it. I was really worried about this because I didn't know what it involved. I thought it would be some long, complicated document. And Rabbi Greg said to me, no, it can be anything. It can be a poem. I said, could it be a song? He said, yeah, sure, why not? So, of course, when it came to her confirmation, all the other parents had their ethical wills ready, and my daughter saw me pick up the guitar and started rolling her eyes immediately. Yeah, but that's okay. I still like the song. I was calling it Ethical Will for a while, but I think that's just going to confuse people. I'm looking for a title, so if you find a good title, let me know. Anyway, for now, I'll call it Ethical Will, for lack of a better title. Oh, my child, in the years that lie ahead, may laughter and good fortune follow you. You're wise just like your name, and your compass is so strong. Just follow it, and it will point you true. You draw strength from your heritage, you live your life out loud. And you should know you always make us proud. But there'll come a time when I'll be gone, to join the ones who've gone before us into the great beyond. And if somewhere in your heart you can still hear my songs, I'll be right there with you when I'm gone. I'll still be right there with you when I'm gone. In my life, there are lessons I have learned, but it seems there's one thing that I find. When you have the choice, just take the opportunity to be compassionate and kind. All the rest is commentary, details as you'd say. lessons that you learn along the way. But there will come a time when I'll be gone to join the ones who've gone before me into the great beyond. And if somewhere in your heart you can still hear my songs, I'll be right there with you when I'm gone. I'll still be right there with you when I'm gone. 'Cause sometimes being a child isn't easy. Sometimes being a parent isn't easy. And sometimes just being human isn't easy. There's a gap between reality and who we want to be. There'll come a time when I'll be gone to join the ones who've gone before me into the great beyond. But if somewhere in your heart you can still hear my songs, I'll be right there with you when I'm gone. I'll still be right there with you when I'm gone. Thanks. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, got to do this one. So this is a song about a real person, although I didn't know him when I wrote the song. Gotten to know him since. Actually, I just talked to him about a week ago. I was happy to hear he's doing okay. It had been a while since I talked to him. So I live in Davis, California, and it's a pretty nice little town, and it has streets with letters and numbers. So Second and L is a real place. The song's called George's Corner. On the corner of Second and L streets, there used to be nothing at all, just the railroad tracks on the south side. To the west, the substation wall. Now there's baskets full of plants and flowers, carefully arranged, and big rocks splashed with colors and day-glow fluorescent paint. But when I drive by George's Corner, it always puts a smile upon my face. How we each could pick a corner of our own to try to make a better place. I don't know if George is homeless. He rides his bike everywhere, with grizzled beard and baseball cap, pulled over short crop hair. His face is worn and weathered, but he's got periwinkle eyes. He's a gardener, a neighbor, an artist, and he works and beautifies. But when I drive by George's Corner, it always puts a smile upon my face. How we each could pick a corner of our own to try to make a better place. Now most of us are running around, commanded by the calendar and clock. No time to improve things or wonder if the treadmill's gonna stop. The corner changes with the seasons, sometimes from week to week. But he's out there in the autumn chill and in summer's burning heat. I've seen pink carnations, daffodils, orange marigolds, and sometimes it's just rocks and sticks in the winter when it's cold. But when I drive by George's Corner, it always puts a smile upon my face. How we each could pick a corner of our own to try to make a better place. A better place. Thanks so much. So just like George, by being here, you guys are helping a little bit, right? And that's really important and wonderful. So actually, I was just thinking this while I was writing that song. I'm going to do what I did this summer, and I'm going to donate 18% of whatever I make in merch today to the food kitchen and helping the cause here. Because make a little difference. Thank you. And thank you guys, anybody who brought canned food and all that. Much appreciated. I'm sure it's very much needed these days. So, for Thanksgiving coming up, it's nice that people are helping out. It's great. I have a long list of thank yous, just like Rabbi Dan did, but I'm not going to hit you with all of them now. I am going to say I am so grateful to Ann and Jan Carlson, who've been hosting me, and Jan's loaning me her guitar and helping with sound and everything. I will need a little more volume for this one, but this was Ann's request, so definitely would be churlish of me not to play it, and I don't want to be known as a churl. This is for all the artists out there. Any artists, any painters or sculptors or no? Oh, maybe a little bit, yeah. Maybe you don't realize you're probably all artists. You just don't know it. You just don't know what your art is necessarily. But yeah, my wife Jen is a potter. I used to say, well, ceramicist. I say now usually because once we had legalization, people started getting confused. But yeah, she's a ceramicist, ceramic artist. And my kids are both theater kids, so very involved in the performing arts. So at any time around Knackville, there's usually some creative stuff going on, but as any of you who are artists will know, the creative process is not always an easy one. That's what this is about. It's called Thing of Beauty. And like all of these songs, if you hear the chorus and you think, oh, I could sing that, just join in. You don't have to wait till we do the pop-up chorus thing. Just join in from where you are. A little more guitar, Jan, if you can. I don't know if you can get more without feedback, but it'll help the cause. Can you guys hear that all right? Okay, then we're good. Here we go. It's called Thing of Beauty. Like to make a sculpture out of glass, so beautiful that it could make you cry. When I look out at the snowflakes as they fall against my window, I cannot seem to bring myself to try. I just can't seem to bring myself to try to make a thing of beauty, just one thing of beauty, only for an instant, with truth and with love, to make a thing of beauty, just one thing of beauty, a single thing of beauty, and that would be enough. I'd like to weave a tapestry of yarn, so intricate that it could break your heart. When I look out at the web as it's shining in the sunlight, I cannot seem to bring myself to start. I just can't seem to bring myself to start to make a thing of beauty, just one thing of beauty, only for an instant, with truth and with love, to make a thing of beauty, just one thing of beauty, a single thing of beauty, and that would be enough. to sing a song of breath and air, so wonderful that it could touch your soul. When I listen to the robin as he's heralding the springtime, I cannot take the first step towards my goal. I just can't take the first step towards my goal. But I can try to live a life that makes an honest story, with challenges, adventures, with truth and with love. And that would be a thing of beauty, a single thing of beauty, a human thing of beauty. That would be enough. Thank you. Woo. Wow, good timing. The strap peg just fell out just as I finished the song. So if I can pop it back in there, we're all gold. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that won't happen again. How are we doing for time? Yeah, I think I'm going to do one more song, and then we'll have a short break, basically 10-minute break, give or take a little. One thing I do have is a mailing list, and it is my kind of lifeblood in that is how I keep in touch with people. We've got some folks here came tonight because this gentleman saw me in Scotland, how many years ago, right? About 7-8 years ago in Scotland. Yeah, and got on my mailing list. Came all the way from Scotland, yeah. Now lives somewhere in the area. So, but still, this is really a wonderful thing for me. And honestly, I don't send spam, and I don't even send a lot of email. So please do hop on the emails, and if you do, I will reward you with a pic with my website on it. There's all kinds of other merch there, since I know a lot of people don't have CD players anymore. I've got vinyl copies of the new album, and I have USBs that have. In fact, I've got a USB that has my entire catalog on it. So come and visit the table to the break. Okay, good. And after that commercial announcement, we will get on with one more song. This is one that I definitely was going to do tonight because we are coming up on Thanksgiving, and I know it's a somewhat controversial holiday these days, and I understand that from the point of view of Native Americans. But I do think the idea of having a holiday that is about gratitude is a great idea, and having one day a year at least that we take to just go, let's appreciate all we've got. That's kind of something that's I can't be against that. Some people would say we should do it every day. That's probably right, but at least if we do it once a year, that's good. So I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and for that, I'll sing this next song. It's called Grateful. I'm grateful for the sun that warms this valley, for the flowing of the water and the wind. I'm grateful for the cool of summer evenings, and every time the morning comes again. But sometimes I forget, so for now I'd like to say I'm grateful for this day. That's the part you can sing if you want to. I'm grateful for this day. It'll come back. I'm grateful for my family that surrounds me, for the joy of all the time we have to spend. I'm grateful for my teachers and their wisdom, and my ever-growing company of friends. But sometimes I forget, so for now I'd like to say I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this day. And I know there will be struggles yet to come, but still I have to smile. And I know our time is short, but I'm glad to be part of the dance for a while. I'm grateful for this gift of sharing music, for the fragrance and the sweetness of the wine. I'm grateful for the bounty at our table and the sparkle of my lover's eyes that shine. But sometimes I forget, so for now I'd like to say I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this day. Come on, let me hear it one more time. I'm grateful for this day. Thank you so much. All right. Take a short break and I'll be back with another set. And don't miss it because there's going to be the pop-up choir, so you're not going to want to miss that. And thanks to everybody listening online. Just hang out for 10 minutes and come back.
this this helps. That's a harmonica. I thought that was I thought it was a tuner. Sorry. when you get the setup down here, I can put stuff. It doesn't damage. They just do one little screw, one line. And then you get rid of this nonsense. Attach it there. Once the balance is a lot better. It's a little funky trying to keep it in place. I mean, if I was the kind of player that sat down, it wouldn't be as much of a problem. It's hard to say.
Hey, Craig, the feed is not on throughout the building. So if people are in the foyer, they couldn't hear the music.
I'm not sure it's set up the way it is for services where the feed goes there. I think he's sending the feed to maybe. I don't know.
We have two amps, and maybe just one is on.
I don't know.
So anyway, thank you. How many people do we have streaming? Do we have a sense? Okay. All right. So I had invited Barbara Weissman to give some, a good pitch for the community kitchen. She's had a very, very long day. When we first decided, without consulting Barbara, to make this a benefit concert for the community kitchen, we didn't realize this was also the day of the Fenton food drive.
Oh.
So all day long, she's been going between Hannaford, Price Chopper, and Market Basket, where people have been donating food all day. And so Barbara is exhausted, and her volunteer corps is exhausted. But we are so grateful to be able to partner with them. And I mean, the Monadnock Interfaith Project, of which one of the clergy on the clergy team and the congregation. The community kitchen has just a fantastic staff, and their head chef, Chef Anthony, I think some of you may have met Chef Anthony before, cooked all of this gorgeous food that we just had, hors d'oeuvres and desserts. And I've decided that those Rice Krispie treats are going to be my last meal. If I can predict when I need to eat my last meal, that's gonna be it. What'd you say? Later. That's at the end of the winter of our years.
Yeah, right.
Beth and I, we were wondering if we're in the fall of our years. When does the winter of our years come? Yeah, not soon. I think we're all in the fall of our years.
Later.
So the community kitchen, as well as 100 Nights, our homeless shelter, play an invaluable role in keeping our community together, because there are so many people in our area who suffer from food insecurity. And my guess is that the numbers are going through the roof nowadays. And I want to give a shout out to Malcolm Katz and Gary Shapiro from our congregation who are here, who once a month have a whole core of congregants that follow them to the community kitchen. And I know many of you help out there as well. It's really, truly sacred and holy work. One of the things that our congregation is involved in is a interfaith breakfast program during the winter months at 100 Nights. We provide hot breakfasts during the week. Our day for the synagogue is on Wednesdays. We start prepping at 6 o'clock. We serve at 7 and we are out of there by 8. And if anybody would like to join Team CAA, please let me know or contact the office, because it's a lot of work and we can always use more volunteers in our rotation. And speaking of rotation, we are ready to begin the second set. So once again, let's hear it for Dave Nachmanoff.
Thank you, Rabbi Dan. There we go. Well, he wears a suit of armor when he's doing it down on Wall Street. Ah, but Linda, she's a gypsy. She can almost make him care. When she says, meet me at the carnival, you know, I'll wear a red carnation. Oh, now suddenly he's opening, and it's really got him scared. And it's a candy shower. Thinks he's swerving into a breakdown. Candy shower like the frozen grand on a sad, sad clown. And it's a candy shower. Thinks he's swerving into a breakdown. He's soft in the middle with a brittle shell. He's so soft in the middle with a brittle shell, yeah. Now he's slamming at the buttons, and he's shaking like a cocktail. And then it's 7 Hail Marys as that cable starts to snap. Oh, he's tumbling and turning, 'cause he can't hold out much longer. Oh, he's dealing with his feelings as his shell begins to crack. And it's a candy shower. He's not swerving into a breakdown. Candy shower like the frozen grand on a sad, sad clown. And it's a candy shower. Thinks he's swerving into a breakdown. He's soft in the middle with a brittle shell. He's so soft in the middle with a brittle shell. And now he's falling. He's falling. Well, who knows what comes after? He's calling, he's calling. Hear the panic through his laughter. But it's raining chocolate kisses from my paper mache target. It's the San Antone Fiesta with 1,000 pink balloons. Whoa, it's sweeter than the sugar cane. Already Tootsie Roll kisses. Now they're dancing to the sugar beat underneath that Texas moon. And it's a candy shower. He's not swerving into a breakdown. Candy shower. When he looks in her eyes, you can almost drown. And it's a candy shower. Much too late to turn around. He's soft in the middle, still soft in the middle. Thank you so much. Little metaphorical love story. What happens when a Texas tornado meets a Wall Street type guy. Well, this next song is actually another one that's about a real person. This, again, not somebody I met. It was inspired by a photograph. A friend of mine took a photograph of a gentleman that she met living underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. She went to get a shot of the bridge, but wound up talking to this man and taking a lovely portrait of him, just a close-up of his face. And he told her his life story, and I kind of took that and adapted it, you know, based sort of on what he told her. So wasn't sure how much of it was true, but she's from Europe, and she went back to Europe and asked a few people that she knew if they'd ever heard of him, and they confirmed that he was who he said he was. So maybe the song is more true than I realized. It's called The Painter. Well, his world had grown confusing. His vision had gone dim. He was starting to forget the very things that made him him. In the shadow of the bridge span, well, he is not quite what he seems. Now the colors, shapes, and lines are sharp and vivid in his dreams. John says he's a painter, once famous for his art. John says he's a painter, now he's only painting deep within his heart. Well, they loved his work in Europe, from Amsterdam to Rome. For a time he settled down, he had a family and a home. But fortune can be fickle, he was left without a dime. And now the shadow of the man is growing fainter over time. John says he's a painter, once famous for his art. John says he's a painter, now he's only painting deep within his heart. The camera seems to capture the soul that lies within. There was a time this brush could capture images of almost anything. Sing it if you like. John says he's a painter, once famous for his art. John says he's a painter, now he's only painting deep within his heart. Deep within his heart. Within his heart. Thanks so much. That's called The Painter. So that's from an album called Spinoza's Dream, and it's an unusual album in that, for one thing, it was recorded in Wales with an amazing producer named Martin Levan, who was kind of Andrew Lloyd Webber's right-hand man for many years. He set up the sound on Broadway for Cats and did the original cast recording of Phantom and all that stuff. But he's also done rock records and folk records. And the musicians on the records were all British except for me, and they're all people who played with Al Stewart back in the 70s. Most of them played on Year of the Cat, kind of his classic album from 1977. But the other thing that's unusual about the album is it's kind of a concept album in the style of the 70s, and every track on the record relates to a different philosopher. I have a PhD in philosophy, so I'm actually Dr. Dave. Used to teach philosophy before I went back into music. And so this is like I said, the title track, probably because one of my favorite philosophers is Benedict or Baruch Spinoza. His given name was Baruch Spinoza, which, if you have a little bit of Hebrew, know means blessed. And when he was 23 years old, he took a rather, not to make a pun out of it, but unorthodox view of Judaism and was excommunicated. Now, until I studied Spinoza, I didn't even know that we had excommunication. Thought that was a Catholic thing. I didn't know that Jews did that, but we do. We have a version of it. And ethical wills. I'm learning a lot these days, so it's good. So the whole thing with excommunication was that he was not even allowed to speak to his family. He couldn't do business with anybody in the community. It was really, really harsh. So it was a big choice, and he was only 23, but he wanted to stick with his principles and express the ideas that he was having. So he left the Jewish community and he changed his name, but he changed it to Benedict, which, if you know Latin, means blessed. So he didn't really change it all that much. Um, Anyway, he's an amazing, complicated figure. It is kind of slightly ironic to be singing a song about Spinoza in a synagogue, but in some ways, I think of him as possibly the grandfather of Reformed Judaism. He had some ideas that were just way ahead of their time, and there aren't a whole lot of songs about him, which I thought was terrible. Somebody needed to make that right. So if not me, who? Right? So this is called Spinoza's Dream. I was Baruch, but now I'm Benedict. They called me heretic, but still I'm blessed. I had a dream, saw it was all the same. Nature and God, two names for everything. But my words, they land in silence, like the snow on the canal. How many years until they hear me and understand the dream I had, and realize the oneness of it all? And in my dream, I saw the evidence of peace and tolerance in every heart. I wrote it down in geometric proof to try to share the truth with one and all. But my words, they land in silence, like the snow on the canal. How many years until they hear me and understand the dream I had, and realize the oneness of it all? And so I wait and grind my lenses here to try to make things clear. And still I'm blessed, and still I'm blessed, and still I'm blessed. Thanks so much. There's a pretty lovely music video that goes with that my friend Ann, the person who photographed the gentleman living under the bridge, John, made. And it's shot partly in Wales, where we did the record, and partly in Holland, where Spinoza lived. Let's see. I'm going to attempt this one, it's a lovely guitar, but it is a borrowed guitar, so it's unfamiliar, and it's always a little challenging playing an instrument that's not your own. And this song will challenge me more than most, but all the more reason to try it. Gotta aim high and just see where you get to. This one is going to be a little loud, Jan, so you might want to pull the guitar back just a hair. Not too much, but just a little bit. This is a good sing-along, because the chorus only has one line in terms of lyrics, which is the title of the song. This is Not What I Expected. The only thing about it is, even though the lyrics are the same every time, the tune changes. So listen carefully, follow along, and jump in if you can. It'll be fun. At the end of this trail of tears, at the edge of my horizon, from the corner of my eye, I caught myself off guard, like a harlequin's romance
with such tender expectations, getting past my sleeping sentry with the turn of a friendly card. But this is not what I expected. Oh, this is not what I expected. This is not what I expected. This is not what I expected. Oh, there must be a hidden source, but you won't know until you get there. When the word has been revealed and you peeled away a layer. Oh, it's under every stone in this desert's painted canvas, like a wellspring of love, or a suddenly answered prayer. Here we go. But this is not what I expected. Oh, this is not what I expected. This is not what I expected. This is not what I expected. It's Cuss's last one-night stand. It's raining hard to beat the band. You hold a rainbow in your hand, and I can only wonder, just stare in wild wonder, listening in the silence, counting seconds till the thunder. This is not what I expected. Oh, this is not what I expected. This is not what I expected. This is not what I expected. Woo! Thank you. Can't win if you don't play. I'll try it. I'll see if the guitar will let me do it. Worked out all right. Okay. I'm gonna put it back into regular tuning for. There we go. All right. Lest you start getting sleepy, I'll play a little jump blues for you. I've got a fridge full of nothing and a mailbox full of bills. The classifieds have lots of jobs, but no one wants my skills. I'm a square peg in a round hole. I just never seem to fit. I'm gonna have to shave these corners off a bit. Oh, Michelangelo, now he'd know what to do. You take a little here, add a little there, and I'd look like David too. Oh, but unlike Michelangelo, I haven't got a clue. I've got those feeling like a square peg in a round hole blues. In this town full of flat tops, I've still got a ponytail. They got their degree from prep school. I got mine from county jail. I'm no follower of fashion, and I guess sometimes it shows. But you shouldn't judge a person by his clothes. Oh, Michelangelo, now he'd know what to do. You take a little here, add a little there, and I'd look like David too. Oh, but unlike Michelangelo, I haven't got a clue. I've got those feeling like a square peg in a round hole blues. Put your hands together, come on. This town is full of pretty women, but I never get a date. The grocery store says three's a crowd, but they always make me wait. I'm a diamond in the rough. I'm not ugly, mean, or dumb. I'm just marching to a slightly different drum. Oh, Michelangelo, now he'd know what to do. You take a little here, add a little there, and I'd look like David too. Oh, but unlike Michelangelo, I haven't got a clue. I've got those feeling like a square peg in a round hole blues. Still got those feeling like a square peg in a round hole blues. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys have made me feel very much at home and not at all like a square peg in a round hole. So I appreciate that. So as we're winding things down here a little bit, we are going to do a special thing now and bring up the pop-up choir, who sounded fantastic earlier. So I'm going to ask them to gather over, I guess, on that side by the piano, so that I can play guitar, but we can still get them in front of a mic, because otherwise the folks watching on the live stream aren't going to be able to hear them unless they're in front of a mic. And I'd love for you to hear them. We've had all of about 10 minutes of rehearsal, so they know the songs perfectly, or none, but that's all right. You were here before, so that's cheating. You're supposed to have it all memorized by now, right? Yeah, no, you guys have a lot of great singers here in Keene. I think I have to keep coming back, because I wish I could take these guys with me everywhere. Oh yeah, fun. Capo tricks. You guys more or less ready?
More or less.
Okay, as much as I am, right? Okay, so this is now, just because they're up here singing doesn't mean that you're off the hook. You can still sing along with this. Just follow them. They'll show you what to do. This is called Glorious. Have you seen a newborn baby? The wonder in her eyes. Every sight and sound's astounding. Every moment's a surprise. Mother smiling at her laughter. Father's babbling like a child. Now they're cast into a new world by the glory of her smile. Said we were glorious once, and we're glorious still. If we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. See that man there on the corner, rags wrapped around his feet, a shopping cart to hold his life in. He's out begging on the street, but turn the clock back 60 years. Who's that laughing little boy? He's playing with his sister. His mother's pride and joy said we were glorious once, and we're glorious still, and we're glorious still. If we take the time to look, if we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. And when we reach out to each other,
Oh, let a smile come shining through. Just for a moment, feel the glory. No matter what else we've been through. We were glorious once, and we're glorious still. If we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. Yeah, we were glorious once, and we're glorious still. Come on now. And we're glorious still. We are glorious still. If we take the time to look, we can see that glory well. The pop-up choir, just crushing it. All right, now we're gonna do a little switcheroo, and I'm gonna jump over there to the piano and put these guys over here in front of this mic, and we're gonna do a song from over there, just to confuse ourselves. Here we go. Ready? All right. Choir to the left, Dave to the right. Should work. All right. There we go. Okay, let's sneak by you here. Sure. Get settled down. All right. All right, they're going to help me out because this is as close to a gospel song as a Jewish guy from the suburbs of DC could manage. It actually won several songwriting awards in the gospel category a couple times, which shocked and surprised me. I think I was only Nachmanoff on those lists, but I do love Southern gospel style, and you really kind of have to have a gospel choir to make it work. So this is, and I don't do the song at every show. This is a great opportunity. This is one where you can help us too. If you like to sing, the words are really easy. The chorus goes, waiting for the light to change, waiting for the light to change. Guess what the next line is? Waiting for the light to change in my heart. So that's pretty easy. If you don't like to sing, that's okay. You can still help. We could use some hand claps once the song gets going. Not right at the beginning, but once we get into it. Now, I'm told that Lutherans clap on the 1 and 3 and Baptists clap on the 2 and 4. And I think it's true because I've toured in Germany where there's a lot of Lutherans and they're heavy on the 1 and 3. But for this purpose, for this song, we're just going to pretend to be Baptists and we're going to clap on the 2 and 4. So it's the backbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is so we can go either way. So if you don't like to clap and you don't have a sense of rhythm, you can still help. If the Spirit moves you, just yell hallelujah as we get going, and that'll kind of get us in the right frame of mind. So this is called Waiting for the Light to Change. Well, I've been sitting at the stoplight. I must be moving on. I've got to get to where I'm going, but it's taken me so long, and I can feel the pressure rising. I want to honk my horn, but I haven't even noticed. But it's a beautiful Sunday morning, and now I'm waiting for the light to change. And now I'm waiting for the light to change. Now I'm waiting for the light to change. In my heart, in my heart. That's it. Well, it's been raining for several weeks now. It feels like Noah back at the flood. So it's gonna take a while before we dig out from this mud. The sky's been dark and cloudy, and so we haven't seen the sun. Now we're getting cabin fever while we're waiting for it to come. And now we're waiting for the light to change. Don't you know we're just waiting for the light to change. Now we're waiting for the light to change. In my heart, in my heart. his life was surrounded with both ignorance and greed. These people getting what they pay for instead of getting what they need. And there's a hunger in their bellies, and there's a hunger in their souls. You know, they won't be satisfied until they feel like they're in control. And now they're waiting for the light to change. You know, they're just waiting for the light to change. Waiting for the light to change. In my heart, in my heart. Waiting for the light to change. I hear you singing. Waiting for the light to change. Waiting for the light to change. Oh, in my heart, oh, in my heart. Now we're waiting for the light to change. Well, I'm waiting for the light to change. The light to change. Waiting for the light to change. In my heart, in my heart. Yeah, let's hear for the pop-up choir.
That's it for us.
We did it.
That's all right, Jen.
Thank you, pop-up choir members. Fantastic job. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, strap peg fell out again, but just between songs, so that's okay. It can do that as long as it's not in the middle of the song. Come on. So I'm going to do something crazy I don't usually do. I'm going to play a song I haven't recorded, probably never will. They only get to hear it here. But I thought it might be fun for today. Oh, thank you. I've got more wrapping. By the way, let me remind you, if you didn't sign the mailing list already, please do. And if you do sign the mailing list, you get a reward. You get a pic with the website on it, just like the one I'm using. Might even be the one I'm using. Again, I want to thank Rabbi Dan and everybody here at the congregation, and of course, Ann and Jan and Craig for helping out with the live stream. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming, listening to my music. Hopefully I'll come back. Keena's starting to feel like a home away from home. So thank you for making me feel so at home here. This popped into my head as I was about to come over here. And the real question will be whether I can remember the words or not. But, you know, got to live dangerously and walk the tightrope, right? So this is a song which, ironically, which my father hated. All right, that's a little strong. He loved most of my songs. My parents were both very, very supportive of my music, but he didn't like this one, and that's because it's an extremely fictionalized version of family history. I was pretty young when I wrote it, and I don't think I was paying attention to the stories. Now, the interesting thing, I don't even have a name for this song. I call it Peddlers usually, but I understand that when this congregation was formed in the early days, before there was all of this. There were a lot of peddlers actually who traveled around but were sort of based here in Keene. And that's how it all started, was with Jewish peddlers. So I thought, if I don't do the peddler song here, where else should I do it? This is the perfect place. So like I said, I may forget some words, and the history is probably all wrong. You can ask me later about the real history. But sorry, Dad. I'm going to play the peddler song. No, anyway, it's kind of fun. Well, my grandfather's dad had an oxen and cart, which he took every day to the mill. Then he'd ride into town with the cart loaded down to see how much grain he could sell. As Jews in the town of Kishinev, his children could never be free. So my grandfather left at 17 and crossed the Atlantic Sea. I come from a long line of peddlers, if the family tales are true. Now I travel around trying to sell my wares, so I guess I'm a peddler too. My
Grandfather settled down in New York, studied engineering at night. But with a wife and 2 young sons to feed, the time and the money were tight. So he gave up the engineering degree and took a job downtown with a sample case full of heavy yarn, but his sons were college bound. I come from a long line of peddlers, if the family tales are true. Now I travel around trying to make my way. I guess I'm a peddler too. My father grew up an American boy. He had 3 sons of his own, and then he served his country for 20 long years till the boys were almost grown. Then he took a job as a salesman of sorts with a briefcase, suit, and a tie. Now he visits his client, now instead of a cart or a subway train. When he visits his clients, he flies. I come from a long line of peddlers, if the family tales are true. So I travel around trying to sell my wares, and I guess I'm a peddler too. When I was young, I never saw a salesman's life for me. I don't much like to travel and be away from my home and family, but I'll jump in the car and drive 300 miles with just my guitar and a case, hoping to share my stories and songs with the people in some other place. I've given up trying to fight the past and who I was meant to be. So if you like what you heard tonight, won't you take home a few CDs? I come from a long line of peddlers, if the family tales are true. Now I travel around trying to sell my wares, so I guess I'm a peddler too. Oy vey. Thanks so much. All right, thanks. Sorry, Dad. We're not peddlers yet. Oh, look, there you go. Well, if you host the concert, you get to pick the songs. So, and Rabbi Dan's been very undemanding. He didn't. Yeah, I said, anything you want me to do, and he said, no, just do what you want. And so, I would be a churl not to play his request. Although it is kind of a long one, but you brought this upon yourself. Now, funnily enough, this is actually another family history song. It's the other side of the family. So this is a song about my children's great grandfather. Again, I don't know how much of it is true. There was a book where I got some of the information and other historical sources, but it all happened a long time ago. Who knows? So kind of like my ancestors, they came from far away. In this case, they were Protestant farmers living in Germany, in an area of Germany that was mostly Catholic, and there were big fights between the German Catholics and the German Protestants. Things got pretty ugly, and their neighbors basically were doing what we'd call pogroms and beating them up and taking their stuff. And so this guy walks into town and offers to give them land in the New World. This is all before the American Revolution. So he said he was a representative of King George III. It didn't go well. You'll see what happens. But they wound up in Shelburne, Nova Scotia, where to this day there are quite a few Bowers. Bauer is just the German name for farmer. So my wife's maiden name is Bauer. And this song was co-written with Al Stewart. So you might detect a little flavor of Al in it. It's got the historical thing going on. And the colonists who fled the colonies because they were loyal to King George III went up to Canada. They became known as loyalists because they were loyal to the king. So this is an odd song because it's kind of pro-monarchy, which I'm really not, but this is just, it's a story. So, and it's an interesting part of my kids' ancestry. So this is called The Loyalist. I see my name all over town, from the shop signs to the graveyard. And I've wandered here
200 years, down through every generation. Sometimes I wonder, do they ever think of me? A distant figure from the past, moss-covered headstone, just a piece of history. How did my story fade so fast? I am a loyalist. Our crops were in a well-earned rest. We heard the hoofbeats in the twilight, and we were told horses and gold were needed for the insurrection. And though I knew what it might cost us, I replied, whose bread I eat, his song I sing. They beat me bloody, called me filthy Tory spy, but I would not betray my king. I am a loyalist. They said revolution is the anvil, where freedom must be forged. They said that I should fight for freedom, but I owe liberty and life to King George. So once again, we had to flee, taking just what we could carry, to try once more on these rocky shores, to build our farms in this new country. Like dancing beggars here, we did the best we could, claiming this land by Shelburne Bay. I'll run no further, no, I'm staying here for good, while my descendants move away. I am the loyalist. Now I see my name all over town, from the shop signs to the graveyard. And I've wandered here for 200 years, down through every generation. The loyalist, or the oilist, or the moilist, or the boilist, according to Rabbi Dan. All right. All right, I'm just going to close with a little instrumental medley. This is from my first album, which people were saying, you should record an instrumental. I said, I don't really write instrumental music much. So my wife, being the brains of the family, said, well, you don't have to do something you wrote. I said, yeah, but then there's royalties for other people's songs. She said, well, you could do a folk song, traditional song. Like, oh, that's a good idea. So I wound up doing two, because I'm originally from Virginia. I picked Shenandoah, and I thought one river song deserves another. So I did Shenandoah and The Water is Wide as a little small medley. So we'll close with that. And again, thank you all for being such great listeners. And I hope I'll see you all again before too long. Oh, yeah, and everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Thank you so much.
And thanks to all the folks listening online too. Thanks. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you.